Hi guys, welcome to our very first lesson for the Ghana Dev Heroes training program. This lesson is going to be on using Windows Phone App Studio. And to do this, we're going to create a Windows Phone App Studio from scratch to submission in the store. So I hope you're all excited to join me today. My name is Akwokwa Asante, and I'm a technology evangelist here at Microsoft in Ghana. Windows Phone App Studio is an online tool from Microsoft that helps you build native Windows Phone apps. It helps you get your idea to Windows Phone in record time. So you can build your app without having any programming language, no coding background needed. You have the opportunity to edit your code in Visual Studio. If you want to add more features to the app, you have the opportunity to do that in Visual Studio. And since it runs in a browser, it works on any platform, be it a Windows, a Mac, etc. So this is an outline of the steps it takes for you to get your app to the store. First, when you have an idea, you make it possible by adding content to it. After you finish adding content, you can choose the style, how you want your app to look and feel, how you want it to display on the start screen, what you want your splash screen and your lock screen to look like. After you set all of these, you can quickly use it by either scanning the QR code, publishing it to the store, or sharing it by email. It's as simple as it sounds. So as I said earlier, you don't need any coding background. All the apps built are native Windows Phone apps. They make use of the full functionality of Windows Phone. Then editing your code in Visual Studio and downloading the app immediately on your phone using QR code. Like any app, App Studio creates apps that need data to work. So it provides 6 different types of data sources that you can use for your app. This is a collection: Rss Feeds, YouTube, Flickr, Bing, and HTML. For our app demonstration, we're going to be using 5 of these data sources. So you'll all get to see how they work and how they're used. Sorry. Now these are examples of apps you can build using App Studio: restaurant menus, catalogs, photo albums, movie reviews, etc. And these are screenshots of using App Studio. You have your data sources on the left, your application sections in the middle, and the preview of how this looks on the phone on the right. This is another screenshot of the configuring your app style section, where you choose what the kind of tiles you want and how you want to display, and a preview of how it's displayed on the start screen. Now when your app is created, this is the QR code you can scan. This is the QR code you can scan to download your app. You can either download the source code, download the published package, share by email, or continue editing your app if you're not satisfied with it. I'm sure most of you here already know my Twitter handle, my blog, and please make sure to join the Dev Heroes group on Facebook and like the MSDP Ghana page. So from here, let's move on to our browser and get started with building our app. So we're going to navigate to apps.windowsstore.com. When I get to this page, I click to start building. Guess I have to sign in again. When you sign in, for first time users, you'd have to register and go through a couple of steps, but it's pretty straightforward. But after you do all of that, you'll be directed to the create screen, where you can either create an app from a template or you can create an empty app. Creating an app from a template is really fun and nice, as you might already have an idea that fits some of the templates given here. So all you need to do is just edit the content. Say, for instance, let me choose this movie app. Click OK. Sorry, I'll click it. Then I'll create the app. Here you realize that they already have some things in here, and you can just edit them as you see fit. Let's go to app content. Already produce the sections, already have the data sources. All you need to do is edit what is in those data sources so that they reflect what you want to show with your app. Unfortunately, we're not going to be using a template this time. We're going to be creating an app from scratch. So we'll be creating our sections ourselves, our data sources ourselves, so that everybody here knows exactly how to do that. So create an empty app. Okay, I'm going to call my app Embody. I already took the liberty of producing image assets for this lesson. So it's a 160 by 160 PNG file. So in order to publish your apps to the store, you need to add your own unique title, a description, and a logo. So you should also take a little time to create your image assets. Here I created an image file with a transparent background so that it flows with my app. This same file is going to be used as my tile, and it will use the phone's accent brush in the background. Let me not bore you with those details. So for my description, I already prepared one here. Everything is cool on this page. So I added my logo, my title, and my description. And I want the default language to be English. You can change that, but I think English United States is fine. Click next. So this is where most of our work is going to be conducted. And it says here, a section is your way to show data grouped in pages. You would have one list page, and different detailed pages are all bound to the same data source. So we have the data sources, your application sections, and a preview here. Okay, so we'll go on and click this to add a section. And here we're prompted to either add a section or a menu. A menu is a list of links to other sections or to the web, and a section is a group of pages, and your app can have up to 6 sections. So first of all, I want my app the app we're creating to have a menu page in the front, and this menu page will lead to the other sections of the app. I don't want everything cluttered in the front, but there are some situations where that might work well for you. But for this demonstration, I want to add a menu that is a list of links that lead to the other pages. Okay, let's add a menu. Then our menu title should be, I think, navigation. Okay. Then I'm going to add menu items. I can either add a section item or an action item. An action item will allow your users to call directly to a number, send an email, or navigate to an external web page. I'll add one action item to our app so that you can see how it works when we run our app in Visual Studio. Let's first add our section item. Okay. My first section item is going to be called Popular Artists 2014. The app I'm building is an app that collects information from Rss Feeds, YouTube on music. It gives you a list of popular artists, an RSS feed from Billboard, a YouTube channel from Billboard, a YouTube search from Billboard, trending music, and a couple of images from Flickr. So you can choose an image for your section, but I think I'll go with the default. And I want this to be a collection data source. So let me name this PA data source. Save changes. Then as you can see here, this has been added. So I'll go about editing my collection for it to contain the information that I want, changing the look and feel of the layout, among some other things. Okay, so now we're in the popular artists section. Let's first edit the data source. Here we have the option to choose either between static resources and App Studio data resources. And as written here, static resources are kind of refer to the kind of resources where when your app is generated, all the data is linked locally as static resources. So in order to add or update the content in your collection, you have to generate your app again for the contents to change. But for App Studio data resources, sorry, all data is available remotely and can be modified without generating the application. So the minute you change the items in your collection, this automatically changes it on your phone. It changes it on all the other phones that have installed your app, but that's not the case for static resources. So I think I'll prefer static resource App Data Studio data services because it's the option that I'd like. So you either have the option to import your data, export your data, delete all rows, or edit columns. At this point, I'd want to edit my columns because I wanted to display different things. So I want my title name to be artist. The title source will be artist. The type is string, nullable, false. This means that this field cannot be set to nothing. You have to fill it up with something. Visible, true. I want to see it when I'm entering my data. And multi-line, false. I think I'll change this. For subtitle, I don't have any subtitle for my app, so I'm going to choose nullable to true, and I'm going to set the visibility to false so I don't have to see it. Then image, I have an image. I have images here. Let me change description to biography because I want to display the artist's biography. So string, everything is good here. So I quickly edited the names and attributes of my columns. Let's click OK. And yeah, so we'll now go about creating items for our data source. So I click create item. We have, let's see, thick. Go about entering our data. You can make this easier by importing your data from an Excel document you have prepared earlier. But for the purpose of this demonstration, I'll do everything here. Biography of Robin Thicke. I think I prepared one. Sorry. Robin. Okay. Let's add it. Not Robin. Okay. Click OK. You'd realize that for the subtitle field, I didn't enter anything and it still allowed me to proceed. That's what happens when you set the nullable to true. I'll create another one. Let's name her Jay-Z. Let's name her Jay-Z. Click image, computer, Jay-Z. Okay, let's add him. And that's how you add your information based on the kind of columns you have. Let me add our other information, then we'll pick up from there. As you can see here, I've finished adding my data, and I failed to mention one thing, which I'm going to do now. When you're creating an item, you can either get your image resources from either your computer, personal SkyDrive, or App Studio resources. So App Studio resources would give you a couple of images that are available, and you can choose from that. But we're not going to do that, hence we didn't do that. Sorry. Hey, now I think we're all good here. Click OK. And our popular artists collection has been filled with data. You see the data source has been created here, and you have your menu item here. Now I want to edit how it looks. My popular artist section looks. So I'll go to navigation. You have how our section pages are displayed. So you can either choose between this, or that. But I think I prefer this one. Yeah. Okay. The title should be navigation. Click OK. Then I want to edit how my first menu item looks. So I'll click to drop down popular artist 2014. I already edited the data source. What I want is the section page, the layout. I want it differently. So I'll click OK. So now let's choose between what's available. Okay, this looks good. This is too big. This is okay. No, I prefer this one. But there are a variety of layouts you can choose from. Then the content that is displayed. This content is bound to our collection items. So the data with the data for the artist column, the data for the image column are all displayed. So if you want this differently, you can just click here and change it to either artist, biography, whatever suits your needs. Let's click OK here. Then go ahead and do that for the details page. Remember that when you go to popular artists, then you click Robin Thicke, you should be redirected to Robin's page where it will display his biography and his image. So let me go down here and choose the layout. Choose this layout. Okay. Now we have the header is his name, the content page title is his name. Let me choose this then. Okay, I don't want redundancy. Okay. The content has been stated here as subtitle, but I want that to be his biography. So I'll choose biography. Preview it. And we can see the biography there. Now we have extra settings here where Windows Phone can read the text that has been written here aloud. So text to speech has been enabled, and the context, the data bound to it is the biography. Then you have the option to share the text or pin that article to the start screen. I have all of this enabled because I want that for my app. Then I'll click to save changes. Now our first section item is done, so we'll go on ahead to create the next ones. Okay, so click to edit section, add menu items, add a section item. Then this is going to be our Billboard Hot 100 YouTube data source. See, data source. Okay, let's save changes. This has been created. I click to edit. It's default. The default data is put in from Windows Phone App Studio. We're going to change that by clicking our data source. You can either choose data from a channel or from a search query. If you choose a channel, you can just type in, see, Vivo. When you click refresh, to try and get data from Vivo that you can display. But for this demonstration, I'm going to use a search query. So let me type in Hot 100. Let's see what it will return for me. You should always make sure that something is returned here, else it will display a blank. Say I choose a channel and I choose billboard. I try refreshing and I realize that there's nothing here even after I finished loading. You don't want that. You want your data to be displayed for you to know exactly how much is there for your app. Okay, let's refresh this. I have my data all here. Okay. So we go through the same process of editing how it looks. Same. I think I like this one. Okay, I'll save changes. Next, I'll edit the video page. But I think that's okay. I like this video layout. And that's done for our YouTube data source. Our next section is going to be an RSS data source, an RSS feed from Billboard. So you should realize by now how all of this is straightforward and repetitive, and it's quite easy to add your stuff. I'm creating my app here and it's taking minutes to do so. Okay. Choose a data source, save changes, edit the data source, edit the section item, edit the data source. For RSS feeds, you need the URL for the RSS data that you want. Here are some RSS feeds to learn how they work from, but I already did my research and I know the kind of RSS feed that I want to put there, and it's from Billboard, and I'd like to enter it here. You should make sure this site is correct, and if it's not, you realize that when you're refreshing to tell you the URL field is not valid. Make sure you don't make any mistakes, else your correct feed will turn into something that you wouldn't like. So I think everything's okay here. Click OK. Let me see if I want to edit the section, see how it looks. I want it bigger. This is covered. Yeah, I like this. Then everything here looks good. Save changes. So as you create your sections, you realize the data sources are also being created here. So if you want to quickly edit a data source, you can easily click it here and edit it. Now let's add another section. We have 1, 2, 3, 2 more to go. Click edit section, add a menu item, and now we're going to use the Flickr data source. So album art. I wanted to display a couple of album arts from Flickr. Album arts, people have pictures of album arts people have taken and put on Flickr. See? Source. Okay. Then you click to edit it. Then we choose the data source. You can either choose images from a particular user on Flickr, or just use the search query to find images that match what you're looking for. So here I'll choose music albums, try and refresh it, and I have some results here that I can use. If you want more information, you can understand how they work by reading and clicking the information here. So I click OK. Let's see the layout. I think I like this layout. I prefer this layout. Let's see. Yeah, I think I like this. Bunch of images. This is cool. Now that is done, the details page is done. Let's add our last data source, that is the Bing data source for trending music. I want users to have the opportunity to choose these things. So let's choose Bing. And the music. Going to be a Bing search for users to easily navigate to sites that can get you what's hot in the market, what people are listening to, and how popular those songs are. So click to edit, and sure. Goes okay. Refresh it. Have things here: Billboard Hot 100, Wikipedia, Hot New Singles. Yeah, okay. Scroll down. Everything looks good. For our last section item, I want to use the action item. This wouldn't be part of the app I submit, but I want to add it to show you guys how it works. So let's add an action item that would call my phone. Call me. So it can either be a web call, an email, a phone, a call, a phone. If it's a Nokia phone, you can either make requests to them, hear maps, hear direction, Nokia music artist. It can be custom, but here I'm going to call the phone. Let's call. Let's use that. Click save changes. Yes, this looks good. And I'm done configuring my app content. This is pretty fast and pretty easy. I have everything done here. Everything looks good. Let's go on to configure our app style. Now this is where we configure our app styles. We choose our accent brush, our background brush, our foreground brush, and our application bar brush. So choose a bunch of colors. As I choose it, my accent brush changes color. I'll still go with white. The only changes I'm going to make here are the background brush. I want to use an image that I had pre-prepared on my computer. Same. Background, open. Then your foreground brush would be the color of stuff written, but I'm still going to go with white. Then my application bar brush down here, I want it to match. Yeah, I think green, that's good. Then I go on to tiles. You can either choose between cycle template, a flip template, or an iconic template. The cycle template cycles through images that are contained in a collection data source on your app. If you don't have a collection data source with images on your app, you can't use this template. A flip template flips from front to back, offering additional data. So you can put your content in there. Let's click there. You can put your content in here. Then, or maybe add an image for it to display. So this is how it will look. That's my logo. The content will be at the back of this, or at the back of the large tile. Click OK. Then iconic template is, it displays content. So you insert first content here, second content here, third content there to display. I'm going with the cycle template, and as you can see, it'll go through my images, and this gives my app a nicer feel to it, and that's what I want to use. If you have more than one collection data source on your app with images, you have the option to drop down and choose where you want to cycle the images from. Let's click OK. Then we go on to the last one, the splash and lock screen. A splash screen is a feature of Windows Phone where for apps that take more than a couple of seconds to load, you can display an image to give users the feeling or immediate feedback that the app is loading and it will open soon. So the splash screen accounts for that little wait time it takes from you pressing the icon, the tile for the app to open, and the app displaying its content. So the screen pixels, the image size that for these images is usually 768 by 1280. Forgot to mention this, but you should note the specification given for these images, because if they don't fit, you'd have to resize them, and if they don't fit, it will be rejected. If they exceed the size limit, that is 500 kilobytes, they will be rejected. So you need to scale and edit your images as required. Your app has the opportunity to set lock screen backgrounds, and you can set an image here in App Studio that can do exactly that. So on the lock screen, when you open your phone, the app has the ability to put this image on your lock screen. I also like to add that in order to quickly resize your images, you can use Paint. It's an easy tool to use. Just open Paint, file, open an image. See, this is a nice image. And then I'll go to resize and go to pixels. I don't want to maintain aspect ratio because sometimes you can be given dimensions that do not match a specific aspect ratio. So I'll check it and choose my image size. So let's click 160, click OK, and it will quickly resize your app for you. That's the easiest way to resize your app. If not, you can easily use Photoshop, and that's also another easy method, but Paint is okay. Click OK. I don't want to save this. Now I think I'm done with my style, my tiles, and my splash and lock screen. So I'll click next, and my app is done. I either generate the app or take a general look at my app before generating it, but I think I'm okay with it and I'd like to generate the app. Yes, I want to continue. And my app is generating. You should note that I have finished generating my app. I don't think this even took 30 minutes to do. Very simple. Add your stuff and you're good to go. Let's have this finish. Yay! My app is done. So please follow the instructions here if you want to install it on your phone straight away using the QR code. It's nothing extraordinarily difficult. It's very easy and straightforward. So now we have the option to download our source code or download the published package. What I'd want to do is first download the source code to show you the app in Visual Studio and also get the opportunity to take some screenshots of the app. Publishing, you have some steps here you can follow when publishing your app. I know all of these off by heart, so you should take your time to look at it. Let's download this. I want to open it. Yeah, and the folder in here is always called SRC. That's the source. Let's click C. Paste it at my desktop. I'd recommend you always extract your file before you try to use it. Yeah, click OK, open it. You have a couple of folders here. What you want to do is to double click the solution file. Click it. You have Visual Studio opening. Yeah, I think it's security warning. Things are looking good here. I think my solution is done loading. No, or not. Okay. So, okay. So, in order for my app to run on my computer, I need to download some missing packages that the app uses to run. This can easily be done by right-clicking the solution and clicking Manage NuGet Packages for Solution. You'd realize that up here it will tell you that some NuGet packages are missing from the solution. So click to restore from online packages. So you don't necessarily have to know which packages are missing. You just have to restore it, and Visual Studio will automatically do that for you. So this will just download the missing packages. Then we click close. I think it's done. Choose the kind of emulator you want to use. You can either emulate it on your run it on your device or use an emulator. I'm going to use the WXGA emulator because I want my screenshots to be in WXGA, and I'll tell you the reason why in a couple of minutes. So let's use that, and now let's click to run the app. Now let's start the build. This will take a little while, so let me pause the recording and show you the results. As you can see, my emulator has successfully opened and it's now installing the application on the emulator. That's the splash screen, and that's the app. We have popular artists here. Okay, let's try and read that again. That's strange. Let me fix it and get back to you. Yes, it's working now. I had a problem with my network. I think everything is cool now. Let's go back. And yeah. So I went to screenshots from this page. Let me see. I like air. Let me capture this and quickly save this here. Let's name it S1. Save it. Now let's look at my Rss feeds. Yep, this looks good. Let me capture this one too. Save it. Save. Go back. And music album art. These are the images from Flickr. So it's taking a while to load. Yeah, and here they come. Let's capture a screenshot, save it as S3. Now I want to show you my app is here, embody. Yeah, and I'd like to append this to the start screen. So let's append it. You can already see Robin Thicke's image here. I want it to be a large tile. This is how it looks for the medium tile, the small tile, and the wide tile. So to scroll through the images, let me capture this. Yeah, and save it as, let's see, S4. And have up to 8 screenshots of your app, but I'm going with only 4. You can go crazy later. Anyways, I wanted to show you the action item. So when I click this call me, it automatically brings up the phone menu where it says make sure this number is correct. If it's correct, just click to call. So as you can see here, it's calling using the fake GSM number, but if it was on my phone, it will call the number that you had specified using the app. And I think we're done in Visual Studio. We've taken a look at how, let's open here, how the app works. It works perfectly, and would now go about publishing it to the store. My internet is having a little trouble. Yeah. So load the image later. But when I click it, it will take me to the video, and you can click to play it. So now we're going back to App Studio to download our publish package, and then go to the Dev Center to publish it. Okay, let's go back now. Let's go here. I'm generating my application again because I removed the call me feature that was initially down here. So let's give it a little time, because I don't want to add a call me feature to the app and publish it to the store. Yeah. So now I'll go to download the publish package. The same instructions came down as when we're downloading the source code. I click download. I'd like to save this. Open the folder, and I can rename this to anything I want. So I want to name it embody, so as to prevent any confusions. I don't want to open this, so I'll click close. Our next step is to go to the Dev Center. So type in dev.com. At the Dev Center, I click to sign in. My account is already linked to Dev Center, so I sign in and it automatically does that. So you can either submit an app here or go to your dashboard and click submit app. So there are 2 required processes and 2 optional processes. First, we go with app information. You click the Dev Center alias. Let's make it embody. And the category should be music and video. That's what I think it is. Then pricing. This app, I want it to be free. Your app can have free trials. It's your selection, and I'm going with the default for the market distribution. If you want more information, you can click the learn more here to find out. So you can either publish your app to the public store or publish it using the beta test, because beta test, if you want a couple of people to test your app before you publish it, you can choose this option and specify their email addresses here. There are 2 publishing options. Either you do it automatically after it's certified or manually after it's certified. and I guess you can all know the difference there. Then in order to add push notifications, there are some things that you can choose here, but we're not going to do any of that. We're just going to save. Oh, this, but sorry, save this. Let's pause this for a bit. As you saw earlier, I'd already used the embody app alias from my earlier blog post on the same topic. So if you use something that is already available is already present in the store, it would give you an error. So I changed it to embed just to avoid any unnecessary complications. So after I filled all of that, you see they ticked it, the ad is complete. Now we're going to upload the zap file. That is the published package that we downloaded from App Studio. Now I'll add a new one. I think it's my documents. Okay, that. And this will upload the file. So it'll take a little while as it's uploading. So let's give it a little time. My zap file has successfully been loaded. Here we have information from the zap file, the file name, the file size, the resolution supported, the capabilities. Scroll down, description for the store. I think I already put this here. And these are specific keywords that people can use to find your app. So type embody music buddy. Video button. Choosing this by random. Now this is your app title icon, and it's a 300 by 300 pixel image. So you should create one with a background. Let's see how it's 300 by 300. This will save the image. Yeah, and you can add a promotional image, even though it's optional. It's 1000 by 800 pixels. You should create one. I'd advise you create one, as it will help. Now this is the reason why I used the WXGA emulator. If I come to screenshots, if I use the WXGA emulator, it will automatically create lower resolution screenshots for me. Under normal circumstances, you'd have to create WXGA images, 720p image screenshots, and WVGA screenshots. All of these are screen sizes for the different types of Windows phones out there. But then since I want all of this done for me, I'll just use the WXGA and have it automatically set the images for the other resolutions. Let's see this. Now let's do this too. Let's do, okay, done. So more to go. Then the last one. You can choose up to 8 images, but we're only going with 4. So as you can see, we're done uploading our Zap and describing it. The next step would be to save our details and review or edit these details all over again. Then we're good to go. Okay, click save. And now we've completed the required processes, the app info and uploading your Zap. Market selection and custom pricing is where you set the regions you want your app available in and set prices for those regions. It might be different for the US, it might be different for Europe. You might exclude some countries, all according to what you prefer. I think I like everything here. Map services is also another feature. You can get it, but let's go if you're in submit. And base price. Okay, everything is fine. Yeah, submit it. And the submission is successful. And if your submission needs to be tested, it takes up to 5 business days but to check if it meets certification requirements. But if not, it can be published within a couple of hours. There are other options here, and this brings our App Studio lesson to an end. In this lesson, we successfully created an app from scratch using App Studio, opened it in Visual Studio to see how it works, then successfully published it on the store. We've achieved 3 things, and I hope you learned a lot from it. Today's been good. Make sure you join the blog, you follow me on my blog, join the Dev Heroes group, and like the Facebook page. Thank you.